The sisters mentioned that he used to be part of a cult
yes,
group.
and then he would mention it in some messages now. Yes, like his testimony, how God saved me, things like that. At the moment, so it felt like that was the person I was facing.
Right.
You know, I didn't see him as the person that was encouraging me as the father. I just saw him as, wow, like, he's a mean person, that he could just do anything to just satisfy.
I mean, yes, you were frightened. I mean, that would be reasonable.
Yeah.
So he goes out, he gets this drink, he comes inside, he forces it into your mouth, and then he tells you, and he's just disvirgined you as well.
Yeah.
And there was blood on the floor.
Yeah.
And he tells you that you should be grateful that he, as a man of God, was the person that did this to you. Okay. Okay. Where was your sister at this time?
My sister was still sleeping. And apparently, I think that the night before, she went out with her friends, because my sisters would just go out. I was the introvert kind of person. And I was just scared. I didn't even know what to tell her. Instead of me having time to even cry or anything, I was there trying to clean floor. I was quickly going to remove my pants. Then all I remembered was I ran to my mother's room. She wasn't around, so I locked the door and did like I was just sleeping.
Why?
I just felt... There was a scripture I used to have in my head then. Marriage honorable, bed undefiled. And watching how my mom and dad, how they were, I didn't ever want to lose my virginity before marriage. That was like one of the things that I felt, according to my faith then, that if I'm able to keep my virginity, I'm going to have a fantastic marriage. That was my revelation then. So it just felt like I had lost every single thing. Everything that I had hoped for was all gone. My dignity, I felt it was all gone. My sisters would call me aside because they knew I was a virgin. And they would say, oh, Busola, keep yourself. Oh, don't answer people, you know, we so believe in you. It was more like I was the flower of the family, like that precious.
Yeah.
So in short, I just felt like my glory was gone.
Gone. That was the first thing that hit you. This man just took my glory.
Like it was totally gone. I was on the bed. I would cry, go into the bathroom, pour water on my body. I think I had my bath up to 10 times that morning because I just felt I needed to be cleansed. I would go and wash up. I did not come out till like 12 noon. As at that time, my other sister was back, but I couldn't say anything.
Was back from where?
Like she went out.
Oh, she went out and she came back.
Overnight. Like she didn't sleep at home.
Right. Oh, okay. Oh, so she didn't sleep at home. I thought you said somebody was sleeping upstairs.
Yes, I had two sisters that were around then.
Right.
Yes.
So one sister had gone out.
Yes.
And came back the next morning, but the other one was sleeping upstairs.
Yes.
How did he know that nobody was there? Your parents were not. That your mother wasn't home. How could he have known that he could do this? How?
Yeah, it was. You know, I guess by the time he was already coming to my house, he already knew how my home was functioning. You know, oh, this person is not around. Because my mom and my little sister traveled that time.
Right.
So it was just myself and so my sisters that were around. So nobody else was around.
Right. And he knew the way the house was big and all of that.
Yes. So it wasn't even something, he didn't do it in a way that it was inside the house. It was just the living room because it's a duplex. You open the door, you see the living room, then you have to step down to get to the dining area. So it was just the open door. It was just on this side. So it wasn't, there was no distance.
Wow, okay. I'm sorry about this.
I've lived with it over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the first time you're talking about this to anybody apart from your family.
Yeah, like it's, you know, I had to really come out to say this because I was already hearing things.
Right.
More like another narrative was being said. And I've kept quiet over the years. I know what I've personally gone through. I know how I've like struggled. You know, when you're just struggling, you're just pushing your head anyhow, like, no, there's something about me. You're trying to figure it out, you know, you're not just able to get yourself. And thank God I have people that are working with me now, that are able to help me through healing process. And I'm seeing a way that I can also help others, you know, people that are silently going through this kind of thing, because the pain is not what you can define. The hurt is not the kind of hurt that you can say, I even know how to come out of it. It's more like you're struggling. It's a struggle. When I mean it's a strong struggle within. You're trying to still see yourself with that high esteem, but you're not seeing it. You're trying every way. Sometimes you try to get it through validation of people. It's through what your friends. Sometimes it's through a lover. You know, you're sort of in a situation where you don't have control of things. You're just depending on everything around you.
Yeah, I see that. So I want to stay here where you are now, and then before going back into that part, however painful it is. So you said something. You said he has been spreading, or there has been a spread of a different narrative. Why? Who is spreading this narrative? Why would anybody spread a narrative if you've not talked about this in years to the public?
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
It's social media.
Yeah.
Like, I think my husband put up some posts, and then he mentioned from Ilorin to Lagos to, you know, Abuja, Dubai, you're doing this.
Your husband is Timi Dakolo, the singer.
Yes, Timi Dakolo, the singer, and he's aware of everything that happened. Yes, he has always been aware.
How long have you guys been married now?
We've been married for 6 years.
6 years, right.
Yeah, so he's been aware. It's not like it's a new thing. But then when you keep hearing news of this person doing this, this person doing that, and
by this you mean abusing other women?
Yes,
and girls.
Abusing other women, other teenagers as well.
Other teenagers, because you were a teenager.
Yeah, I was a teenager then. I had not even entered school. I was still trying to do my IJMB to find my way into university. So,
so I found out about this a week ago, about your husband's posts.
Yeah.
And apparently he came out, he didn't mention Abiodun's name.
He didn't mention me.
So he came out to talk about this person who has been hurting women through the church. And apparently he had talked about it last year without mentioning names.
Yeah.
So this obviously had been something that had been deeply painful to him.
Yeah.
So based on what you were saying, because he spoke out, you know, and the people that he was talking about, which is Abiodun and his people, knew that Timi was talking about him.
Yes.
So so you're saying they began to spread stories about you that you heard about.
Yes. I think in a way they had already even spread some stories.
What
because
kind of,
the first time when it happened, you know.
First time when Timi spoke.
Yes, when Timi spoke up, someone was saying it, like another pastor was saying it, that, oh, he said you guys had an affair.
Ah, so you had heard the pastor say to your husband that Abiodun said he had an affair with you.
With me.
Now, sorry, but you were under 18 at this time.
I was under 18.
If he had an affair with you, he was having an affair with a minor anyway.
Yes.
And this is obviously, because I've heard this part of the story, this is obviously a well-known pastor, even though we will not mention the pastor's
exactly.
name.
It's just a thing of, that actually made me, even before these stories, I started hearing stories, I already lost all the credit of men of God trying to do like they are listening to you, like they care about you. Since then, I've never worked in a church. I just go to church anytime I want, come out. I'm not part of any group. It's about my relationship with God.
So the first time Timi spoke out in the social media without calling Abiodun's name. You began to hear stories. That's the first time this stories then you got heard from this big pastor.
Yeah.
And then Timi spoke out again this
Yeah.
year. Did something trigger Timi speaking out again this year?
There was this, I was just there in my studio and I had phone calls.
Studio.
Yes, my photography studio. And I had phone calls, you know. Eventually I picked up, Busola, don't check online, no. Something is going on. You know your truth. My sister called me. Then she was like, you know your truth. A friend just called and she said, imagine people saying rubbish, someone saying rubbish about you on social media. From where now? That Busola, just don't mind all these people. I was like, what? So I went online and I saw it.
You saw what?
I saw the message. The person put, go and ask your wife. The person responded on Timi's post.
Right.
Go and ask your wife that was sleeping around with pastors in Ilorin. Right. Go and check the DNA, spending church's money. All that really, it triggered a whole lot. Like, I felt like I've been bullied enough. I've kept quiet for a very long time. You know, even when I heard there was this main story that came out previous year of a lady, you know, I didn't put my mouth, you know. I just kept quiet. And me keeping quiet, I felt like I was just losing myself. Like, you're losing yourself. Someone is bullying you. You're not getting the opportunity to speak up, to say something. DNA of my children, that's, in short, to just say, oh, she's promiscuous.
So these people were, so this lady, one of these messages that your friends actually looked at was somebody questioning the paternity of your children.
Exactly.
Because of what Timi had said.
And Timi never mentioned me.
Didn't mention you.
You. He didn't mention me.
Right.
I meant so.
And so whoever was responding, these people who were responding, obviously knew about you and about what Abiodun had done with you. And we're trying to manage this situation.
Exactly. So at that moment, see, I had a very long silent moment. When I just sat down. I had to tell my clients at the studio that, sorry, I just need to sit down. I went to the toilet and I sat down for almost 20 minutes. What should I do? I'm like this quiet person that I'm just getting to connect with myself. What's all this? And at that point, I started telling myself, I think you have to be courageous to come out and say your truth. So
before these accusations came, you were not going to come out and say anything about this?
Yes,
no,
I was just quiet. I was just quiet. Even when church members, some people would ask, what even happened now? COZA,
is it church
nothing.
Members? You mean COZA church
COZA
members?
Church members, especially the early church members then. I would tell them nothing. Oh, I just felt like, you know, we'll get to that part where I would say how I came out of the church and things like that, you know.
But I'm going to ask again, even though I mean, if what you say occurred is an irrelevant question, but why did Timi speak out again this year? What triggered that? You haven't
different people that have reached out to him, more like you are the voice that can help us. This person is still doing this.
Right. So because he had spoken in the past,
and
apparently, like you say, this Abiodun continues. You know, people say that Abiodun continues to have affairs with teenagers are below 18 and above. So people come to Timi to tell him about what this happened. And Timi is triggered again. Because this thing that happened to you that you know about is not happening to other younger women.
Yes, exactly. And that's actually the point why I decided to, let me come out. Let me come out and let them know that you're not alone in this. Like, it's happened to me. I'm walking through my healing process with great people. So it's a hard one. I don't know. It's really hard. But then, thank God for a great husband, I would say. Some people are still single. Some people are even probably still struggling in their marriages because of things like this.
Okay, let's go back. And again, it's difficult thing, but it's necessary to do that. So, Abiodun does this, and does this to you, rapes you, allegedly.
Yeah.
And you go into the room, he goes home.
Yeah, he went home.
And then what happened? That's it?
That was on a Monday, and at that point I was just scared of him.
Scared of him?
Scared of him, yeah. And I love my family. I don't want anything to happen to anybody.
Because he's an ex-cultist, as he has said.
Yeah. So that image was more in my head than any,
pastor.
yeah. So the next, the Bible, I still had to go because my sisters were cell leaders. So I still needed to follow them. Busola, you're coming to church. Oh yeah, let's go.
You had to follow them back to the church that Abiodun was pastor
church.
of. Had you told them about what happened?
No.
Huh.
I didn't tell them.
So, okay, so this was the same day?
No.
Or this was days after?
Yeah, days after, so but that same
week.
That same week.
So you'd been raped by Abiodun. He had gone. You hadn't shared this with anybody. You were still dealing with the fact that as a young Christian girl, for whom virginity was a big deal, you just felt that somebody had taken something very important to you.
Yeah.
You'd not found the words to tell your sisters yet, but you had to follow them back to his church.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went for the midweek service. That was like the worst.
Did he preach on
sermon.
that day?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And it was about grace.
It was about grace?
Grace, the grace of God. You know, like no matter what you do, the grace of God has covered all your sins. Like God doesn't even see any of your sins. So I was there trying to understand what is this all about? What is this? In short, that day I just attended church because I had to attend my sisters. And after service, a brother came up to me, one of the protocols, and then he said, Pastor Modeli wants me to come and help at their house.
Who is Pastor Modeli?
That's his wife.
That's Abiodun's wife?
Yes.
Abiodun's wife asked you on the week that this happened to come to the house?
Yes, told someone to come and tell me that she would want me to come and help because she has a baby.
Right. To
come and help at home.
Has she ever asked for this before?
No. None of my siblings had gone to their place to help.
Right. So randomly...
So immediately, really, I turned to my sister. I was like, sis, I don't understand. I said, am I Omodo? Omodo in Yoruba is domestic help now. Yeah. What is all this? That was when she now said, that is not a new thing, or that church members go to help her.
Right, okay. Okay.
So at that point, I was just like, okay. So Pastor Abiodun now came. He just said, I'll be coming to your house when I leave to come and pick you.
To come and pick you?
Yes,
to go
it was evening.
Wife.
Yes, so I would sleep over.
So Abiodun Fatoyinbo, after doing this thing,
walks
up to you in the church after preaching about grace.
Yes.
To say he will come and pick you.
Yes.
To come and help his wife.
Yes. That Pastor Modele needs me to help her. So I went back home with my sisters. At that point, I was thinking, should I tell my sisters? Should I not tell? Should I tell? Should I not tell? I was just frightened and afraid. But in my mind, I was like, no matter what, Busola, just prevent anything like this from happening to you again. I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I still had to let me respond like nothing happened. Because I felt I was trying to keep my people safe. So after we returned home and he came, the wife was actually in the car with the baby, and he came to come and pick me.
He came to your house to come and pick you?
To come and pick me.
And he was alone in the car?
The wife was in the car.
The wife was in,
you know, it's like after service,
right,
going
so
home, so you both came to pick me.
From home.
Picked me from home,
right.
And then we went. They were staying somewhere in Songo.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ask, I mean, I do work at Joy Inc. I know how trauma works, I know how this works. Well, some people are not familiar, so I'm going to ask a very stupid question.
Yeah, you can.
This man just raped you. Why in God's name did you go back to his house?
Nobody knew.
Yes, but you knew.
I knew.
Yes.
But I was totally afraid. I was a teenager. It's not like my dad was available that I would feel, and I didn't even have that kind of relationship with my dad, that I would feel, oh, daddy, this thing. I didn't feel like somebody was responsible for me. In short, it was more like him that I felt was responsible for me.
You.
Like I was beginning to see him that, oh, see the person that is being there for me. So it was more like my hopes were just shattered.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Everybody trying to find out how to navigate their own lives. Like, that's how my family, you know, they were all trying to just find a way. Hey, my sisters, you know, myself and my sister were trying to enter university. But, you know, they more like face your life kind of thing, face your life. There was just no other option.
Yeah. You were frightened. You were frozen.
I was frightened,
yeah.
Totally frightened, because at that point, like I said, I didn't see him as my pastor anymore. I just saw him as somebody that's maybe the old side never left.
You saw him basically at this point as this cultist that you had been told about.
Yeah. So that was how I went to the house, and I was always I carried baby. It was late already in the night. So his wife entered the room, so that's Pastor Dilly entered the room, and I carried Shindara. Meanwhile, at home, I wasn't the kind of person that used to clean the house.
Right.
So that was why I was even telling my sisters, like, you people are the ones that clean the house. I don't know why Pastor Dilly decided that I should be the one to come and help her cook and help her clean. That I'm not good at that. I'm just learning. You know, they know this girl just came back from secondary school. So how can she do all these things? But my sister just said, I'll just go and help now.
Because they did it for people. He'd called different people.
Yes, he called different people. That wasn't the first time.
So it's the strange thing to your sisters.
Yes. So that day, that night, I carried the baby Shindara, and Pastor Dilly was lying on the bed that was in their own master's bedroom. So she now said, oh, Busola, have you eaten? I'm okay. I didn't bring any clothes, by the way, because I didn't have mine to have my bath, change.
Yes, just wanted to leave as soon as you
I would just sleep, wake up, and go and do my own thing at home. So I carried baby. Pastor Abiodun walked in and he said, I've cleared the guest room for Busola. Busola should go and sleep there now. I looked at Pastor Dilly. I said, Pastor Dilly, you're the one that told me to come and help you with Shindara. I would like to stay on the bed with you. He said it again. But why would you want to stay here when there's a spare room for you? That room was meant to be like, I think like, he cleared the room in short. You know, that you can go and sleep there. Because meanwhile, by the time I walked in, at some point where I was just there alone at home, he came to me, you're going to sleep in a guest room and I'm coming to meet you there.
Okay, all right. So, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so when you came into the house with both of them, he found a way to corner you and say to you that you will sleep in the guest room.
And I'll come and meet you there. So, it was just, let us sleep. I said no. He walked away again. I made sure I just carried Shindara. Like, she was a baby, really little baby then. So then she now said, okay, Busola, just help me. Let's lay the bed, everything. As we're about to sleep again, he came in again.
As well as sleep in his wife's room?
Yes.
In the master bedroom?
In the master bedroom. He came in again and said, Busola, he was just pacing the floor.
Pacing around?
Yes, like, he came again. You should go and sleep. You should go and sleep. I had to just look at Pastor Dilly. I just looked at this. I said, please, I really need to sleep with you on the same bed. At that point, Pastor Modili now said, Abiodun, please leave her. She wants to stay here.
Right. Right. Okay. All right.
So immediately she said that he went away.
Right. Okay. Right.
And that's how she slept, I slept. Then I stood up and I locked the door, the room door.
Right.
And that's how that night was.
Right. Okay.
I woke up in the morning and let me clean the house normally. It was already